suspended. I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. It's deadline day. I hope everyone's in good spirits, as I always say. Hopefully Arsenal can sign a player. We've been linked with a player. You know, players are being disallowed from training with the first team. Certain players are returning back to Spain. You know, small hope of Bissouma, Aouar, all of these guys. That isn't going to happen, but the dream is free. One love to everybody locked in. You know, 100 of you locked in already. Please make sure you hit the like button. And as usual, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night, according to where you are and wherever you are. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, subscribing if you haven't, and all of those sort of things. And on that, this isn't the last live stream today at 8 p.m. I know I set it to 9, but I think we got to go earlier, 8 p.m. until the window closes. Obviously, anything that we miss in this live stream, we'll catch it back. So 2 live streams from myself today, people. Hopefully, Arsenal can conclude some business in terms of outgoings and incomings, and it's a lot, man. So it is what it is, man. It really is. It is what it is. You lot are saying something is confirmed. Again, you lot are going to have to allow me, but you lot are saying check Fabrizio Romano's account. So let's do exactly that. I'm still not over the Ainsley Maitland-Niles thing. The fact that he's been banished to the thingy, man. He's been banished away from the first team. And again, like I said, I think his PR team have pulled off a blinder. But I think that's actually where we can start is not concerning him. I think, you know what, I'll let you lot filter in before we get into all of this sort of stuff, people. Let me take in what you lot are saying, because I know people are going to come, oh, have you spoke about this? You spoke about that? Have you done this? Have you done that? So let's give people half a chance, people. Let me take in what you lot are saying before we get into what Tomiyasu is saying and all of those sort of things, / the Bellerin latest, / Bellerin latest. I'll put there. Get rid of that. Yeah, is what it is. 200 odd of you locked in. Ainsley, come United, bro. We'll play you in midfield. Who is this guy we are paying 20 million euros for? Tomiyasu, you know, we need to hit up that Japanese market, though. Them Japanese man tend to have engines as well. And I mean, that's what I like. Whenever you sign them sort of region players, they're very hardworking. They're very humble. They work hard and all of these sort of things. I don't know who DT is. That's not me, so you can't be speaking to me. But anyway, CS has said, morning, BG and DG Nation. I'm proud of Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He's showing he wants to play and controlling his career path. Maybe too little, too late. I do think nobody's hands are clean. You know, Ainsley's being quite smart and acting like a victim, acting like woe is me, acting like it's all my issues. And again, you're now seeing things have come out that Everton wanted a 2-year loan spell. If that's true, then Arsenal are never going to agree to it because he'll join them for free, you know. First things first, Ainsley needs to take responsibility for his own career. You know, if you find yourself at 24 years of age, being an England international, the window being closed, you've gone through all pre-season and you have no clarity over your future and where you stand with the club, especially that you're in the squad, you know, half the time, whether you play or not's another thing. You have to blame yourself, you know. If you're not getting any messages or you're not hearing clarity, take that as clarity that the club are not betting on you. They don't bet on you enough to give you clarity over your future. So keep it moving. You know, at the same time, we don't know all the variables. And that's what I will say with Ainsley. For Arteta and Arsenal, it's an absolute disgrace how we've handled this situation. First things first, no one's bigger than the club. If the man wants to leave, let him leave. If you're not allowing him to join Everton or whatever, yeah, it's another thing if finances aren't being hit. But if you're not allowing him to leave, I don't know if there's been offers on the table prior to this, but if you're not allowing a man to leave, you're not telling him where he stands, you're not telling him what he can improve at to get in the team, what are we doing? And it stinks of appalling man management. You know, it's another player that we've done dirty. It's another unneeded situation for me. You know, there's a bag of things to talk about through Arsenal on the sporting front, much less these dramas. And it's another thing where Arteta is showing his incompetence. It's another player you look at and you think, what the hell happened? Because it looked like, you know, we spoke yesterday how, you know, when this first happened last year, how Ainsley was told by Arteta what he needs to do and all of these things. You look at him, you look at Pepe, you look at Aubameyang, you look at half of these players, you know, it's like he has one relationship and then something changes. And for me, of course, if you're going to discipline Ainsley for how he's acted in the press conference, I mean, talking on social media, so be it. But it's one rule for one and 10 for another, because, you know, People are saying F off to fans. People are going Dubai. They're still getting to play. Ainsley's never walked up. He's always attended training. I know he's been late at times. So it just feels like there's one rule for one and rules for others. And when you're one of Arteta's trusted disciples or sidemen, it seems like you can do whatever the hell you want, people. And like I said, it's unneeded drama, people. So let's kick off with Ainsley Maitland-Niles because we've actually started off in that light, people. Bag of things to talk about, and again, so many tabs open. I don't know where any of them are. One love to everybody locked in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button and you're checking out the pin message for my next live stream. But John Cross has said after his move to Everton was blocked, Ainsley Maitland-Niles has been told he won't be training with the Arsenal first team. So maybe, like I said, maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Maybe Ainsley's tried to leave legitly. He's tried to do it the right way. It hasn't worked. Him as an advisors are thinking we've got to play dirty. Obviously for Arsenal, it doesn't help anyone if if you banish him to the 23s and at least until January he sits there. You've got a depreciating asset. You've got a player who could probably, I know we're in talks with the Japanese international, but until he signs, we can't speak on him, can we? So you'd have a player you could use, and maybe Arteta deems him he can because he's got him on the bench. You've got a player that could make you money. We're cutting off our nose to spite our faces. Again, the lack of proactiveness, especially around these sort of players' futures, is what is costing us. So if he's been banished to the first team, it don't look good. It really doesn't. Personally, Ainsley can have legit. I don't think he's a messiah at fullback. I think he could do it. I think there's a bag of weaknesses in his game. Arteta is legit in having concerns. But for me, them concerns with Ainsley, they don't match up when I look at the people playing ahead of him in Chambers and Cedric. It don't make sense. And he hasn't clearly been given any clarity. Like I said, you look at Cedric, alienated towards the end of the season in the first team now. Has Arteta pulled Ainsley to the side and told him at the start of the season where he sees him and what he can work on? Or has he told him, look at what Cedric has done. He's now in the team. This is what you need to do. I don't think he's been given a damn thing, people, and he's gonna be in issues. Like you can see, they're all saying it. Ainsley now excluded from first team training following yesterday's developments, as you lot can see, people. That's in relation to that. So I won't carry on with that. But as you lot can see here, people, Arsenal order Ainsley Maitland-Niles to train alone after Everton transfer plea. Now we know allegedly they had a meeting in which Arteta left Ainsley even more confused and he doesn't know where he stands. This just screams to me like a lad that wants to leave and it's by any means necessary. I don't think he wanted it to get this ugly. I don't think everybody's a saint in this, but when I look at the common themes, a lack of clarity, how many times have we looked at these Arsenal players and said, what's going on with Saliba? What's happened with Guendouzi? What's going on with Ainsley? What's going on with Aubameyang? What's going on with Pepe? What's going on with this guy, that guy, and the third? There's no smoke without fire. There has to be something in Arteta's man management. Even down to the way you treat the players that aren't there. Look at Oli, Lingard's not involved. He might want him to keep him, but Lingard's not going to be involved. Dan James, he's kind of going to Leeds. Look at the difference in man management. That's one thing he has over him. We can sit here and say Arteta's got a trophy. Oli doesn't, but man management. And when you ain't coached under 18s, when you used to having it all your way, when you're used to seeing someone like Pep where it's his way or the highway, you're gonna pick up their bad habits and not understand things. It's ridiculous. And like I said, we left it too late. There's still a long time to go in the transfer market, but it don't look good. Less than 13 hours or something before the window closes. You're now banishing a player. Let's sort it out. You could have been done with my man and got the piece from Wolves. Lacazette, Bellerin, Maitland-Niles, they could have made mad money for this club, but we're reactive. And we've been doing that. But anyways, Arsenal have ordered Ainsley Maitland-Niles to train away from the first team after he went public with his desire to leave the club on Monday. According to reports, Ainsley Maitland-Niles posted on social media insisting he just wants to move where he felt wanted and is believed to want further talks with Mikel Arteta. Exactly. Make man feel wanted. Again, it must be depressing training knowing a manager don't rate you. I've been in that situation where you're training and you're not playing, the manager don't rate you, there's no point, your head drops. Where again, if you tell him at least I'm not using you at the side, whether I agree with it or not, I'm using Chambers and Cedric in front of you, but this is what you can do. This is what you can give me. You don't want to sell the man and make money to reinvest. And with this is just me as a fan. There could be things that we don't know. The club have accepted offers. He doesn't. Maybe offers came. Ainsley was trying to force it and they didn't. But for me, it's not serious. And again, you need to make man feel part of it. Again, Nelson's going to sign the new deal. And Nketiah said no. Again, I think Nelson's probably silly to sign that. Hopefully he gets a chance. But the club is telling you you're just a spare part, really. And like I said earlier in the summer, if the window closes and you're in a certain situation that you don't like at 24 years of age, you can only blame yourself. The report went on to say Ainsley is understood to have held talks with Arteta and technical director Edu following the plea. The Mirror have now reported that the player has sensationally been told to train away from the first team. Apparently, the Athletic have reported that Ainsley is hoping for further talks with Arteta today and will once again, I guess, reiterate his desire to join the Toffees. Now, for what it's worth, apparently we haven't replied to Everton. We haven't responded to Everton or rejected it or whatever. Some people saying it's been rejected, some people saying it hasn't. So I don't know where we stand. For me, I would love Ainsley to lock it down and be an option. I still want a right back, but I'm tired of the dramas. You know, if the man wants to go, let him go. Because bro, I can't. With respect to Ainsley, hey Len, bro, I know Arsenal are falling off, but it's Ainsley fucking Maitland-Niles, bro. It's not even Bukayo Saka. It's not Thierry Henry. Like, bro, he might go and excel. I believe he's got the ability to play as a fullback at a top level. I think he can improve. I think he should be part of this team. But it's Ainsley fucking Maitland-Niles, man. It shouldn't be this. And I'm tired of the love dramas. I love my club more. If the man wants to go, cool. You know, I'd probably prefer the manager to leave before a couple of these guys. But if he wants to go, cool, have some clarity. Why are you holding on to, man? And obviously, like I said, for both sides, I don't know everything, but it don't look good. It really doesn't look good. It doesn't help anybody. I'm trying to find the Athletics article, people. So let me go on Arsenal and see what we're saying. Shout out to United because they, you know, what a deadline they signing that is. Only signed Cristiano Ronaldo. The hell is this stuff, man? Sorry, folks, man. I'm acting. 500 of you locked in. I appreciate it. In the last few days, you have been supporting the thing on a mad one. I appreciate that. That's the Timiscal one. Sorry, folks, man. What else are you lot saying, anyways, man? And bring back Saliba, sell Suarez and Marie. Probably too late in the day for that one there, man. Ainsley is our best right back. I don't think he should have a free ride at the side. I don't think Ainsley Maitland-Niles is good enough to say, okay, this is our right back. What I would love for him is to have an opportunity to show, yo, all right, cool. It's down to me now. I can show that I'm the first choice. I can show I'm probably second choice. I can show I'm part of the squad. And on top of that, he's got the adaptability in midfield. You know, if you don't rate a man, just sell him. But I don't understand how you've played Xhaka you've done the Xhaka left back, centre back, hybrid role. You've experimented with Chambers. You've experimented with people in the false nine, but you don't experiment with Maitland-Niles all using. So just let the man, just let the man go, people. Just let the man go. Apparently, Everton have made a 2-year loan bid for Ainsley Maitland-Niles with the option to sign him permanently. And you have seen a lot in the last few days, them 2-year options surfacing, mainly abroad. Chelsea did it with Bakayoko. Obviously, there's no offer has been accepted. The right back is contracted until 2023. Let's be real with ourselves. That's a dickhead thing. As much as I sympathize with Ainsley Maitland-Niles' situation, come on now. He's contracted until 2023. Maybe the club have said to him, like what Nelson is, boy, sign a new deal, little 1-year extension, 2-year extension. You might be able to do this just so we can protect ourselves. I know there's legality around this, but if I'm Everton, you've got him for 2 years. You just wait for the 2 years to be done and sign him for a free. Or, you know, what happens after 2 years if we say, F my man, we don't want him? Let's be real. His agent, and this is why I said everybody is not clean in this. Ainsley Maitland-Niles did a very good job in the Woe Is meeting. Like, I just want to leave and all of these things. And I hear it. I agree with it, you know. But it's one of them ones. Let's go on David Ornstein, people, because, well, definitely not that. Let's see what he's saying. We're going to get into that shortly, man. But from one right back to another. And I told man, fullbacks are the most important in this thing. I told man, fullbacks are the most important in this thing. But they didn't want to listen. They didn't want to listen to me. I'm trying to, sorry, people. I need to sign in. Obviously, man, can't be sharing the details and all them things there. But let me sign into the Athletic really quickly and then bring this one back for you guys, people. 1 second. What else are you lot saying in the meantime? Which players are injured and how far are they off from recovery? You're going to have to go on arsenal.com or something. But from we were told that after the international break, Thomas Partey and Gabriel are to return. Personally, I hear what a lot of people are saying. We ain't got a full strength side, but we've had these guys and there's been hella tomfoolery. It's the manager. I want Arteta. I want to look back. I hope that Arteta makes this video look crazy in a few months, but he shouldn't be given that opportunity. Sorry, people. Let me share the screen again with you again and get into this. As you can see, They're doing their deadline day business. Ainsley Maitland-Niles plans to meet with Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta at the club's training ground on Tuesday afternoon to request a move to Everton. As you know, he's been subject to a bid from Everton. Rafa Benitez's side made a loan offer with the option to sign him. Arsenal entered into talks with Everton, but no offer has yet been accepted, with the club telling Ainsley Maitland-Niles he would be staying in North London. My guess personally is that when we get this Japanese Donny sorted and Bellerin, he'll be allowed to leave, rightly so, but it don't look good. It's reactive. And again, I don't think there's any smoke without fire. I actually do think Ainsley and his advisors are probably trying to gauge where they see. And they've been given they've been spoken to in riddles, half-arsed questions. And obviously it's deadline day now. People have had enough, people. Arsenal now need to decide whether to accept an offer for Maitland-Niles or keep a player who has publicly said that he wishes to leave the club. I mean, he wishes to leave the club because he's not playing, in an ideal world, gets his slap on the wrist, gets back to training, and this is it. Players have come back from worse. Man have said F the fans. People have gone off to Dubai when they're supposed to be doing other things. People have just played shit in games. There's worse things people have done. So I do think he can fight back from it. But I think like I said, he's clearly looks like he's prepared to burn all bridges. It feels like he's done the passive thing. And now something needs to give if he wants to leave. And for me, I respect it, because you need to be selfish. As much as I love you and love you at Arsenal, you need to do what you can so that at 25 years of age, Ainsley Maitland-Niles is developed. That the reality is of the situation, he's 24 years of age. You want to play midfield, you want to play right back. We don't know what you are in terms of a fullback, what sort of fullback you are. We don't know what sort of midfielder you are. And at 24 years of age, some of these questions should be answered, and it's not. Some of it's his fault. Ultimately, we've got to take responsibility for any situation we find ourselves in. But at the same time, yeah, man, it's just, for me, it's just unneeded, man. It's just really unneeded. We shouldn't be here speaking about it. It's another one where you're questioning Mikel Arteta's man management. You're keeping someone under duress. It's ridiculous. Either tell the man he has a chance if he works hard, or not. And again, I can't imagine your opinions changed on Ainsley Maitland-Niles in a matter of months. You had your same way, whether Joe had a good spell at Newcastle or not. I'm sure your opinion didn't change on him. I'm sure you know where you see him in your team. And that's clearly a squad player, nothing more. You don't rate him like that. So let the man go, reinvest. And like I said, the key part of this Arsenal job was a manager being able to coach and a manager being able to understand players. You've got a player where, based on what you've been doing with a whole bunch of other players, you played Willian about, you've played Lacazette in the 10, you've done what you've done with Xhaka, you've done false nines, but you haven't given Ainsley Maitland-Niles a chance in midfield properly, or you haven't experimented with the midfield and the right back hybrid role. Even when I look at what you want our right hand side to do, you clearly want us to be very left hand centric and be narrow. Ainsley can do that inverted fullback stuff even better than Bellerin. But you didn't give him a chance, so you clearly don't rate the man. So let the individual leave. Like, it's simple business, in my opinion. Let the man leave. Bring in someone who wants to be here. Keep going. Because, like I said, I rate Ainsley, but it's Ainsley Maitland-Niles. It's not Neymar. It's not Messi. It's another one where it's bewildering, because you get I've always said it. I think Arteta is a hoarder. He's a hoarder. You keep wanting. This is the same thing said with a lot of players. 1 minute they're going and they're staying. He's hoarding them. For what reason? I don't know. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, people, man. But it is what it is in that regards, man. It is what it is. You lot are saying there's been a fee agreed for Timiska. Man said Timisu. I can't say his name. Someone needs to help me, man, with that pronunciation. But yeah, we're in talks to sign him, allegedly. And again, hopefully there's progress. And I think he's a good fullback. I do think he likes to go forward, but I wouldn't describe him as a fully offensive fullback. I do think he likes to tuck in. I do think he sticks well to his task. He can play centre half as well as right back. So that's gonna be a plus. That's going to be a plus for Mikel Arteta. I like what I see from the 22-year-old. He's decent 1v1. He seems to want to defend. But again, one thing that scares me is he comes from Italy. He's able to play as a centre-half as well as a fullback. Only time will tell what he does here. But for me, it's just a defensive system. We can sign whatever we want. It's the system. It's the outlook on defending. And when you look at the way we're behaving, what's going on there? What is going on there, sort of thing. So I'm happy to have someone that can play right back, someone that can fill in that centre half, of course. But again, I want you to play right back. Obviously, the man is 22 years of age, so there's resale value with that and whatnot, people. So if we look at the first one love to everybody helping, man. What have you said? Tomiyasu. Bring up yourself. So Tomiyasu, forgive me for mispronunciations, but yeah, man. As we see here, Tomiyasu to Arsenal, agreement reached. Here we go. Personal terms agreed, and Bologna will receive 20 million euros plus 3 million in add-ons. Medical due this afternoon, and then an official announcement will come. So again, it's moving quickly, and we were linked with him. It was us and Spurs. Spurs have clearly went down the Emerson Royale route. Again, you'd imagine this move is it shouldn't. But based on what we're led to believe, we probably need to see the futures resolved, either at least one of the Bellerins or Ainsley Maitland-Niles, or if not both. So, he's 22. He ties in with what we want to do. Longevity, you've got 24-year-old Tierney, Tomiyasu at 22 playing right back / potentially another option at centre half. Gabriel, Ben White, by God's grace, Saliba. You've got Lokonga there, the Smith Rowes, the Sakas. Young, innovative, and hungry is what the team should reflect. So it's another thing the manager's going to have to show. Certain managers had to work with Lichtsteiner. You're getting a new right back, so make us look like a good defensive team, but he can't improve it alone. Look at the naiveties we do. It's absolutely ridiculous, people. It's absolutely ridiculous. That's in relation to Bellerin, so we'll get into that. Shout out to my guy, James. I need to ask him to come do a video with, man. Hit the like button. There's 700 of you locked in. Great engagement levels these last few days. As first revealed by David Ornstein, Arsenal working on a deal for Tomiyasu. That's in parallel with negotiations for a departure of Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Hector Bellerin. The latter deal's progressing well, but work left to do. Tomiyasu ranked 10th in Serie A last season for aerial duels, 11th for clearances, and 21st for interceptions. He would seem to be a more defensive-minded fullback who would tuck in to make a back three when Kieran Tierney bombs on, something only Chambers really does. Now, fair enough. If you get a better tool for your system, fair play, do that, Arteta. But for me, that doesn't really help me, because I really want us to just be as threatening on the right-hand side as the left. I know we're not Liverpool, but could you imagine if Liverpool said, Trent, don't attack? Don't be narrow, be ridiculously narrow. Robertson's the only guy where if you see it, sometimes either is narrow. That's never going to change, but both go forward. So I do think he can improve in that regards, but we're working with scraps. So I'm probably of the assumption that it's Tomiyasu and Cedric. You've given Cedric a 4-year deal. He'll be the second choice. Chambers remains in the squad. I said I'd be looking to sell Chambers. As I said at the start of the summer, there's probably been a never better time to sell Granit Xhaka, to sell Bellerin, to sell obviously the man in question, because he had a decent season. Why not? Chambers was all right until the Brentford game. You could have got a little 17, 16, 18 to 20 million for Ainsley, maybe something like that for Chambers. I know it's not as simple as that, but before you look at it, that's that's a decent kitty. Then you throw in the others that could be thrown in. It's ridiculous. And like I said, we're getting a defender from Italy, that gives me whether he's Italian or not, that gives me confidence, because again, if you go to Italy and you can't defend, it's not making any sense to me. It's like, it really isn't. That's university or the oracle of defending, so you should have an art of defending. But for me, he can have all the defensive mindset. He can understand defending as much as he wants. When he looks at people, your keeper, how the centre backs are moving, the fact that that's always rotated, the inconsistent midfield, the lack of press from the front, the lack of communication, the nervousness from everyone, he's not going to be a messiah in it. Arteta's got the tools now. You got Gabriel for 28. You spent 50 for Ben White. You spent 30 on Ramsdale. You buying my man for 20 million euros. Show us something if you're going to be here. It's ridiculous. And also on that topic, I might as well draw for the Athletics article as well, folks, where it's actually spoken about this move. Sorry, folks. So, yeah. Arsenal are working on a deal to sign Tomiyasu from Bologna. The Athletic understands the discussions are underway, but a potential deal is dependent on other players' movements at the club before the deadline on Tuesday evening. The Japan international is a versatile defender who can play both centre-back and right-back, the latter being a position Arsenal are looking to strengthen. Arsenal believe he can operate as a hybrid defender on the right-hand side of a back four by helping them build up play in a back three. And I mean, yeah, but they need to, Arteta needs to be better in how he's discussing what he wants to do and implement. If he's not brave on the ball, if he's not press resistant, you shouldn't be signing, man. You can't be a side that wants to play out from the back only when the team is not pressing you and giving you 100 years. It's crazy. Arsenal are not the only Premier League club to have shown interest. Tottenham made inquiries about the defender early in the window. Their pursuit of Emerson Royal, however, appears to have opened the door for Arsenal to move. The Athletic reported early on Tuesday an agreement had been reached between Spurs and Barcelona for the Brazilian. The 22-year-old Japanese international made 31 appearances in Serie A last season, and is only featured in one game this year. Obviously, because I don't know, it might be injuries, but his future might be in subject of speculation. You know, again, I praise the versatility, but when people have a good game, it's versatility. When it's a shaky game, it's shoehorning. So make sure he looks like a centre half. I mean, a right back and not a centre half. Your right back able to play centre half, not doing this thing where actually he's a centre half able to play right back. He's a right back able to play centre half. And for me, again, you're gonna have him. He's able to play right back and centre half. Ben White can fill in that right back and centre half. Tavares has been coming off the bench at fullback, at right back. You've still got Cedric and you've still got Chambers. Why are we pissing around with Ainsley Maitland-Niles? I'm getting past the whole woe is me stuff to feel sorry for Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I'm caring about Arsenal Football Club. That's a man that's played for England now. That's a man that you can say spare parts. Go and get 20 odd million and a sell-on clause, and the world keeps spinning. If you don't want to use him, which I think we should be using him personally. But it is what it is in that regards, folks. It is what it is in that regards. Feel agreed. Let's quickly get into Hector Bellerin also as well, folks. I'm sure you know you lot have seen my man in the thumbnail and all of these sort of things, people. Like you can see here, Hector Bellerin is in talks with Real Betis, and Arsenal and Betis are close to an agreement over a season-long loan deal, which would include an option of a permanent move next summer. He hasn't got too long left on his contract, so we are going to need to decide that for Hector Bellerin. Listen, Bellerin, I'm not the listen for me. You just fundamentally are not good enough. You haven't improved. You regressed. Sorry, you know. You look at half of the fullbacks that are on the scene right now. They're all better than you and the credible ones, and they were nowhere to be seen when you was first coming up. You know, Livramento at Southampton's a baby, but in the 2-3 games I've seen from him at first team level, because I've seen a lot at Chelsea, I know he's better than you. You know, Trent, Wan-Bissaka, Lamptey, James Justin when fit, you know, there's a couple other names. They're all better than you. You know, you're the only out and out right back at this football club. And I'm sure many fans were entertaining the Chambers, the Bellerin, the Chambers, the Ainsleys. Certain people might say Cedric ahead of you. You know, you've ultimately not improved. You ultimately not regressed. And at 26 years of age, we shouldn't even need a right back. We should be saying our defense is complete. We should be talking about, can this Japanese international Ainsley prove their backup in your case? I can't begrudge you for wanting to leave. Apparently, his dad's a big Betis fan. Apparently, he is. Apparently, his agent is trying to get Betis and Villarreal. Obviously, he's a Spaniard that's never played in the top division in Spain. It's a bit like Jadon Sancho wanting to come back to United on top of everything. He's never played in the Premier League despite being from here. So good luck to Bellerin, really. You know, I know he's been a bit shaky. I've always admired, and I've said it before, how he's not afraid to be himself with the fashion, with the diet, and all of these things. How he speaks about certain, fan channels as well. You know, shout out to Bellerin in that regards, folks. You know. But again, it does seem like it's going down to the wire where Bellerin is confirmed, people. Like you can see here, Chris Wheatley has said Bellerin set to complete his move to Real Betis on deadline day. You know, who knows? Ceballos might go. Apparently, Real Madrid have said Ceballos could leave, so it is what it is. Time ago, he said, my first shirt was BETIS because my father was a fan of, obviously, the team. It was difficult for me to support another club, so it's not really necessarily a Barca thing. The Barca thing didn't really work. As you lot can see here, Arsenal's hopes of deadline day, Hector Bellerin exit under threat from Tottenham. Arsenal's hopes of selling Hector Bellerin on deadline day are under severe threat from North London rivals Tottenham, according to reports in Spain. Bellerin's made it clear he wants to leave. It's been widely reported that Betis are willing to take him on a season-long loan, but apparently they're also looking at Serge Aurier, who's another one that futures that's in relation to speculation. And obviously Spurs have upgraded on him, signing Emerson. He's got a year left. They probably would say if they get offers, they probably try to get, you saw Fabrizio Romano saying Aurier and Spurs for the last 2-3 years have been trying to leave. So I don't think there's going to be offers at this moment in time, people. And apparently with Betis midfielder William Carvalho refusing to leave the club this summer, it seems unlikely that the Spanish Giants are able to free up enough money to fund any deal for Bellerin. So yeah, man, it's all dependent on what's going on. Like you can see here, away Arsenal star Hector Bellerin set to complete a transfer to boyhood club Real Betis. 26 years of age, go and do that, man. And I want to see the penny. I want to see Bellerin go on loan, and shell it up. And we say, boy, What happened to that Bellerin? Why wouldn't we see that Bellerin at Arsenal? I believe that's what you. I think that's what you might happen. It's like a relationship. How many times have you seen a man and a woman together and it's toxic, but they leave? You know, the man might lose weight, he might go gym, he might stop smoking, he might, handle his finances better. You know, the woman, the same logic. She starts feeling more self-confident in another relationship. She starts feeling better. You know, they're both doing well separately, but together it wasn't banging. That's where it is with a lot of these players. We're not going to see this Hector Bellerin, and the penny needs to drop now. He speaks on wanting to play for Spain. Well, you're under Luis Enrique's nose. You're playing at your boyhood club. You've left the situation. Go and do what you need to do, people. Really, really and truly. Go and make it happen. Make it happen for yourself, really and truly. Apparently, as well, shout Osman Laguna. Bellerin to have a medical in Seville ahead of a move to Real Betis. Betis have agreed a loan with an option to buy. Apparently, to be fair to Bellerin, he's prepared to take a wage cut and is taking a wage cut. So he wants to keep it moving. So one has to wonder, at 26 years of age, why is he so quick to snake Arteta, despite Arteta standing by him and being this father figure or big bro? Willian, why was he so quick to bust out? You defended Xhaka and you've given him a new deal, but who's to say in the next few months he won't try jump ship? He tried jump ship. Leno tried to jump ship. Are they, whether I believe they're part of the problem or not, are they concerned about Arteta? Are they concerned about how the clubs run above him? Do they believe in the project? Why are your lieutenants so desperate to snake it? The players that you banished Saliba and all of these guys for, why are they so desperate to leave you? That's what you've got to ask yourself, Mikel. But for what it's worth, it is what it is in that regards for Hector Bellerin, people. And obviously, the Ainsley Maitland-Niles saga is getting ridiculously messy. Like you can see here, Arsenal and Real Madrid in talks over move. I keep saying Real Madrid. Real Betis in talks over a move for Hector Bellerin, but it's far from a done deal. There had also been negotiations with Barca over Emerson swap deal, but obviously that's collapsed, folks. What's this Ornstein one? So yeah, that's that. In relation to Hector Bellerin, please make sure you're hitting the like button, folks. Bellerin latest. Make sure you're hitting the like button. And like I said, we're working around the clock, people. 8 p.m. today, we go again as well. We're still here. Don't get twisted. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm still here, people. But yeah, man, it's deadline day, so it's only right to do a deadline day live stream. And let me make sure you're all aware of it. It's pinned to the live pin message, and it's also here. So yeah, make sure you're taking that in and whatnot. What else are you guys saying, man? If you don't have a recognized CDM, you don't need both fullbacks to play attacking first players. If Arteta wants to go 3-4, he would also fit perfectly. I hear that, but we still need to move forward though, man. And they still need to be able to offer something going forward, in my opinion. Spanish journals reporting there's a problem with Bellerin because of the salary limit by the league. And I mean, if he's willing to take a wage cut, we should be able to get around it. Yeah, but he is more of a centre back than a right back. Why have we decided to go for him last minute when he's been available? Summer seems like a panic buy. To be fair, I won't say it's a panic buy because allegedly we've been on to him. I can criticize the haste in which we've gone for him. The lack of clarity over it and your concerns. But I don't think he's a panic buy. Kaya Jarupkin has said he went for the project and the project wasn't there. What player has gone to Arsenal recently and has not been a disaster? Raw. Fair play. He's back in his done, but he never swear down. He said that. And to be fair to you, this is what happens when you get in bed with agents. Raw. Where'd you find them comments? Because I can't see anything right now. That's a madness. That is a madness if he said that. He's not wrong though, because it ain't worked out for no one. But raw, he's making out that as much as it's an Arsenal problem, it's a Bellerin problem. It's a Willian problem as well. But I respect it. He pays your bills. Fair play. Big up DG in the nation. Hope you're good. Who the hell is this Tomiyasu guy? I mean, pardon me. If you watch Italian league, he's a decent little player there, man. Are we going to get any hard coin for anyone? Seeing is believing, and who knows, man. Good luck to Bellerin. Always a fan, never the same after the ACL. Personally, I don't even think it's the ACL anymore. I just think you're not good. You've lost your pace and there's that. I just think I don't believe in it. I really don't believe in it. I just think you're not good 1v1. You're not good going forward. There's not a single facet as a right back. I look at you and I say, what do you bring to the table of significance? He's an Arsenal. He's under contract. He needs to keep his head down and work harder. I think that's in relation to Maitland-Niles. What if he's worked as hard as he can and he's being given no clarity? Hella pagans watching the stream and not liking Defo Ops. Big up the members. Them hit the like button if you haven't, man. But doing guys dirty. Every like boosts the engagement. If you know, outgoings and incomings in relation to Arsenal, you do not hit the like button, you're putting negative spirits into the air, and we will not see any significant ingoings or outgoings, and you'll experience, well, you will, outgoings will be reserved for you because you all get unexpected high bills. One love if you hit the like button. Bro, Xhaka said he wanted to leave, purposely got himself sent off. Arteta rewarded him with a new contract. To be fair, I don't think he got himself purposely sent off, but it's just he's incompetent, innit? Where is Zachariah or Basuma? Now we can all acknowledge Xhaka can't legit tackle. But you know what? If you're not going to get Basuma, out of the two, if you're not going to get Basuma, I'd rather leave. I'd rather leave it alone. I'd leave Zachariah alone personally. So yeah, one love to all the comments, man. I am dyslexic, man. That's a bit harsh. Your mom taught me how to spell my name, blood. How me, man? I know your mother's a teacher. Why you think I'm always getting detentions? Allow me, man. I bet you wouldn't say it to my face, tough guy. And I'm not a tough guy myself, but you know, it's you're a gangster behind the QWERTY, man. Man are saying that while they got a sticky sock on their lap. Anyways, sorry for the mispronunciation. Big up to all the real ones locked in. Expecting Bell madness like last season. Listen, Bell's my guy, but he's looking like he's down bad. You know, he said something was getting announced today. There was some mad scandal. We're led to believe there was some crazy scandal that was going to be unearthed. I can't see nothing. So, boy. Any Kolasinac news? Nah, not at this moment. Who do you think will realistically sign by the end of tonight? I got small hope that our will land. Apparently, they only want 30, 40 odd million for Thingy, for Basuma. You know, they wanted Nketiah. Can we throw them in there? I don't really know. But I can't see it happening. You're hella pessimistic. What do you expect, bro? We're Arsenal fans. What's there to be optimistic? If you can be blindly optimistic, but what is there to legitimately be optimistic about? I'm all for this, though. I'm all for this. Energy. You know, when you see things like this, Arsenal set for mass exodus today with Bellerin, Nelson, and Mohamed El Nene all in talks for moves away. So surely you got to bring in a midfielder. You're acting up with Ainsley. Surely Hour's got to be landing. Surely, people, you got to be grabbing the Hour there, man. Or something. Or it's incredibly naive from Mikel Arteta because we're already down to our bare bones in midfield. What's all of this from this Nabil brother? Last minute offensive from an English club for Moussa Dembele. Arsenal, the striker should not leave Lyon. I thought it was going to be Barcelona's Dembele. I'm not trying to hear that. That's rubby, man. But yeah, I mean, I'll rate you lot. I'll respect you lot for the outgoings. I can't really respect you lot for the incomings, if you know, because I think you lot are extremely naive if you're betting on some of these existing options and whatnot. And I mean, if these lot are leaving, why are we giving the amount of minutes to El Nene, Kolasinac, Eddie Hart when he was fit, all of these guys? It's not making sense. Like, what are we doing at the club? Seriously, people, what are we dealing with at this football club? It's not making sense. /Arteta. And I found the quotes. Big up Chris Wheatley again. Be nice if he replied to my DMs. But anyways, Kaya Jaripkin on Talk Shite. The key driver behind William was Mikel Arteta. He really wanted William. Arteta made several presentations to William about what his role would be at Arsenal, but that didn't work. He went for the project, but it wasn't there. Now, first things first, William, you were shit. Let's be real. The project didn't work because the player was shit. Like, he did no dirt. He scored on the last day of the season. He had plenty of times to play, and he was tired. He shouldn't have signed here. Now, I'm not even blaming William. You gave him a good contract. He wanted to stay in London, go and do your thing. For Mikel Arteta, I now have to, managers get things wrong. I've got nothing with that. But I think that the signing of William highlighted several things. Incompetence, clearly, incompetence. It was stupid signing him. You signed him on a big deal, and now we're kind of praising you for getting rid of him, the DNA. Yeah, we need experienced players, but it's the level of experience. Why did we sign Willian? You thought you could take a cheap option. For me as well, we're meant to be having you need to be brave to play young players. It took a lot for him to play Smith Rowe. It took a lot for him to reintroduce Martinelli. You know, he's acting over the young players. He's bet on the experienced ones, and they've let you down. You know, you've not known how to use Willian as well, because as poor as Willian is, the way Willian spoke about training and all the methods and that, you know, it leads me to believe something's going on. And I've said it before, there's got to be a reason why Willian, Aubameyang, all these attacking players at this club, nobody is thriving at all. There's got to be some sort of crippleization being done with the tactics. So, you know, this is Arteta signing. This Arteta's been allowed to make an expensive mistake. Now I look at Edu with the technical director now. If you agreed with it, cool, fair play. But someone has to have not agreed with Willian and had concerns, because somehow we've always got concerns over Szoboszlai, over Aouar, over Buendia, but nobody's got concerns over this sort of signing. You have to get it right for that level of money. We forgetting Mkhitaryan, you know, Mesut Ozil's new deal, even Kolasinac for 100k. You know, expensive free transfers. It's terrible. The project wasn't there, it's a lie, because Arteta don't know what he's doing. So this is Arteta's people. Really and truly. He went on to say, Willian doesn't blame Arteta. All we want Mikel to do, well, even as fans, they may be disgruntled at the moment, but any fan of any football club always wants the best. At the moment, the project has not worked. It's not about Willian. Again, we all know it's deeper than Willian. We all know this project is deeper than Willian, really and truly. It's the incompetence. Like I said, I can criticize Willian from a football perspective, but I find it's better to get at the people that brought him in. Because you look at the exit, you've now had to lose, whether he's foregone it or not, you've gone through it. If anything, you've lost time dealing with something you shouldn't have done in the first place. At least if you went for a different kind of profile, you might have been able to sell man on. You know, it's terrible. And if Willian is saying this and his agent saying this, what are people thinking like at the club? You've got this, you've got Ainsley wanting to bust out, a couple of other players want to jump ship. People probably don't believe in this. Unfortunately, I don't think it has anything to do with Willian. I think something has gone wrong at Arsenal. Chelsea offered him a 2-year contract at exactly the same salary. It worked out to be completely to his personal disaster. Well, you wanted the 3-year in it, and you probably thought it was an easier ride here. I had a meeting with Edu and Arteta today. They explained that has not gone well. I said, leave it with me. I will talk to Willian. I don't think it helps or benefits anyone to have someone sitting there just for the sake of sitting. Yeah, if you don't want to be here, we don't want you. Keep it moving. So it's as simple as that. The man shouldn't have been brought in the first place. You know, you spend recklessly, you buy twice. Simple as that. You tried to make cheap mistakes. You made cheap signings. You tried to, you know, buy cheap materials, and the foundations to the house aren't strong. So it's collapsed. Simple as that. But it's incompetence. And then when you slap that in, you've got Cedric on a 4-year deal, let alone bringing in Cedric, you know, and then messing around with using him. Willian, you know, a lot of the decisions. Someone attempted to give Mustafi a new deal at this football club. So somebody's smoking the most A1 of Budge. You really and truly. The kitties must be lining outside the yard for that level of TT/Budge. But yeah, man, it's bare incompetence. And this is what I don't have faith in. I don't have the faith if that we actually sign good players. Mikel Arteta is able to coach them to a standard. I don't have faith in Edu vetoing decisions from Arteta or being able to source good enough players. So I have question marks over the coach's ability to realize potential and the recruitment. That's before we talk about who fucking owns this football club and who is a shambles. It's not making no sense. It scares me what's going on. And again, if you don't oppose it, obviously people could say no, but I just have to assume as a fan, you're condoning this. You look at it, you know, reckless spending. It's not just the big monies. It's people like Runnison. Who the hell sanctioned that? You bought a keeper who couldn't catch. Now you had to look for another keeper. Now you need to look for another keeper next year, because if Leno's probably gone, it's up to Ramsdale if he wants to prove himself as first choice or whatever, but you're going to have to look for another keeper. You're going to need a backup fullback. I'm not trying to hear this Tavares bullshit about playing on the right. The man's a left back. Show me you can lock down left back and we move forward, you know, and I'm open to that. Stop shoehorning people into the team. Stop making cheap mistakes. Just buy proper players. They don't have to be for big money. Just go and find the talent. And it's appalling, man. It really is appalling what's being done. It's an absolute mockery, if I'm completely honest. That's the only word you can find really and truly to describe this situation, man. 356 likes. Let's keep running that up, folks. That guy is definitely a centre back. We're about to see, man. Disagree before the ACL, he was playing well. That yeah, you can say that, but fundamentally he's gone. And to be fair with you, even without the ACL problem, one sec, I'm charging my phone, people. I'm still here. You know, I think at best, all Hector Bellerin has shown is patches of brilliance. I think the one time we saw a real good Hector Bellerin is when he probably was wearing vapors and that. I just think even since he's come back, he shows, he shows patches of brilliance. I'm not really on it. Like, even before the ACL, he still couldn't defend. He still wasn't good 1v1. He still overcovered or undercovered. He still wasn't the best playing out from the back. He still was kind of dead. But either way, that's neither here nor there. The fact is, we're here today, the 1st of September or something like that. In fact, the 31st of August, 2021. The man's not levels. I have to keep it moving. The Ainsley Maitland-Niles situation is frustrating. If he's not in the plans and there's an out, let him out. Trapping him doesn't make any sense to the player or the club. Reece Nelson to Feyenoord on loan. Good luck to him. Yeah, the sending off was harsh with Xhaka, but that's the that's the brainless decision. You're giving a guy a decision to make. There's been a couple of sending offs I don't think are sending offs, I struggle to understand personally how Xhaka gets sent off and Pogba doesn't, or so nothing gets pulled up for Chambers. But at the end of the day, he's taking that decision to be overzealous in the tackle, and he's giving the ref a decision to make. Clearly, the ref made the wrong one. He made one nonetheless. Loan agreed for Hector Bellerin. Let's go back on David Ornstein's. Yeah. Progress. Perfect. All of them noises and them things there. But yeah. Arsenal and Betis agree. Bellerin, loan, move. So yeah, man, we've seen some progress where we're concerned on that base. Shout out to you for alerting me to that. I'll listen, as you lot can see here, Real Betis have reached an agreement with Arsenal to sign Hector Bellerin on loan, no option to buy, working on finer details of personal terms. Right back taking a pay cut to get career back on track, medical in London this afternoon. So there's hella lies. 1 minute my man's in Seville, then obviously he's wherever. As long as he moves, who cares? It's a bit it's unfortunate though. I'm not gonna cap. That it's got to this, but it needs to happen, innit, folks? What can we say, really and truly? As you lot can see here, Betis have reached an agreement with Arsenal for the loan of Hector Bellerin. The deal does not include an option to buy the 26-year-old. So again, if you've got to be optimistic, right? You've got to be optimistic. Hopefully, they take him permanently. He does his thing, whatever. But if they say no, then we've got a 27-year-old returning with a year left. And such is life. He might get an opportunity, but he would need to be moved on. So hopefully he plays well. It's in our interest so that we can get top money, really and truly. I'm all on this. It doesn't include an option to buy. So again, if he does well, other teams might go in for him. It's understood that parties are working out the finer details of personal terms, with Bellerin set to take a pay cut to join the La Liga club. To be fair to you, we always talk about they're overpaid. They like a nice lifestyle. Bellerin's busting out. Williams bust out. Bellerin will undergo a medical in London this afternoon ahead of flying to Spain. As you know, he spent his entire professional career at Arsenal with the exception of a short loan spell at Watford, which ironically trained next door to us. So he's always been part of the furniture. Somehow he made 25 appearances last season. In total, he's made 239 appearances for us, and he's won a couple of FA Cups. So you can leave with your head held high. You came here as a boy, you leave as a man. Credit to you, but ultimately this is the end of the road. Only some people can get to the end of the road. At best, we have quality players that retire here. You're not able to do that. So we wish Bellerin all the best. Hopefully we sign better players and we're able to react positively. So it is what it is, man. But yeah, that's where we're at with Hector Bellerin, folks. Make sure we're hitting those like buttons and all them things. And like I said, obviously transfer deadline live stream. Today's a long day, a busy day. So make sure you're here. I don't want to hear Arsenal has spent a lot. It's too little, too late. Fair enough. Only Tomiyasu being linked at this point. I mean, that's all you see, man. I don't see much. I'm hoping for the hour. What happened to pursuing Trippier? Clearly, that one's dead in the water for whatever reason. Probably the asking price. Same reason United probably stepped away. Optimism, hype. Listen, I hear that. I hear that. Man said Eddie out. Everyone is obsessed with Aouar. He had a terrible season. There's a reason why Lyon are offering him. Wake up, Arsenal fans. I mean, He can't do any worse than the other players. He's got a couple of years left to run. You know, he did have a woeful season by his own standards, much like the rest of Lyon. But you look at his last game, and I mean, even on his worst day, he offers something to Arsenal. I agree with you. It's the same way Al was the only guy, Maddison was the only guy, Szoboszlai was the only guy. Deluded, bro. You have to realize that Arteta is literally making these signings. Edu is profiling them. I mean, we've kind of agreed there, so I'm not really sure where you've misinterpreted, but fair enough. Just logged on. Did you see Parler saying that Overmars texted him he needs to sort out this club? Thoughts? Also smash the like button or you get no booty calls for a year. I mean, we'd love Overmars in it, but it doesn't surprise me. But he's not going to get brought in, is he? Because he's someone that's going to demand excellence. Big up my guy, Carl. My G, keeping me entertained at work. Arteta and Edu need to dip ASAP. Forced out Guendouzi, Saliba, and now Ainsley Maitland-Niles. But Kolasinac, Marie, Xhaka are good enough. And to be fair, I don't know how much they're going to force the boat out with El Nene. To be honest, Arteta is the problem of the team. He's a young manager who doesn't believe in young players. Why are we sending Saliba on loan and keeping those rubbish at the club? For me, I hear you. I don't mind sending Saliba out on loan as long as what I'm seeing at the club, I'm saying, all right, cool. That's why he's gone on loan. Game time might not have played. When you've got people playing like clowns, it's not making sense. What's the process? Don't blame the players. Even our striker can do anything with this process. Lads, you won't get close to Basuma. If Brighton were going to sell for a reasonable fee, he'd long be gone already. Fact. Man said, to be fair, if we get Basuma, Aouar, and Aarons, I'd be confident we'd at least won't get relegated and can start again next season. One of those signings will probably take up the whole day, but at the same time, it's a myth. Apparently, Kia is Edu's agent, hence no Edu criticism. Of course not. Everyone got paid. Everyone got paid. Do you rate Origi? Like, man, he's a cult hero, but come on, man. We've already got scrubs. Why sign more scrubs? I've already spoken about him. Scroll back. Arteta is forever making unnecessarily bad decisions that usually affect the club negatively. Boy. He sounds like a Japanese Chambers, to be honest. Versatile centre-back who can play right-back. More of the same then, probably, man. Stop spamming, my guy. You're going to have to get blocked, unfortunately. Arsenal fans, beggars can't be choosers. Look at our midfield. Our instantly improves us. No brainer. And for 25 million, you could do a lot with that. Even if it goes wrong, you can get that back. Even by Arsenal standards, we should, man. Surprised no one has moved for Basuma still. Maybe it's one of them. I don't know. Maybe nobody wanted him as much. Maybe clubs had other plans and there weren't finances. You know, you look at half of the big clubs, they've got a lot of midfielders. Maybe there's these sort of things. But I don't understand it, you know. I don't understand why he's not here. Big up the Namibians in the building. Bruno G over hour every day. Hey, even Bruno, he come out yesterday and said my agent. He said something about his agent in Arsenal, but no offer came. Let's not blame Xhaka. We always play him in the wrong position. Let's be real. How does he perform at national team? And here he looks like a donkey. We have a problem. Well, yeah, you're right. Clearly, the Swiss national team understand him a bit more than us, or he understands them a bit more than us. I mean, like I said, I didn't advocate scapegoating for Xhaka, but Xhaka is a pillar of mediocrity. You know, Arteta bets on him. His pros do not outweigh his cons. You'll always be proven right. I'll always be proven right with Granit Xhaka, Leno, Bellerin, if he's still here, all of these guys, they'll give you 5-10 games on the spin. But when it's crunch time, there'll be an issue. And I mean, how is he not playing in the right position? If anything, I feel Mikel Arteta has made him look more, based on that last season, made him look even more like a complete player, because I'm still seeing mistakes, but I'm not seeing, you know how he used to get caught high up the field. He don't really do that. And Xhaka likes to press as well. That hasn't left him. But boy, he's just not good enough. He's just not levels. Fundamentally, it's just not levels to be anything other than a squad player for a team that allegedly wants to do serious things. Would you take Alexis? Would you take Sanchez back? Sorry, bro, but that's the end of that. No. Bro, Origi's a quality player. He won the Champions League, but I mean, come on now. I can't have, just because you got cult hero status over at Liverpool, it don't mean you can be up here. One love to the Trinidad Gooners as well. Happy Independence Day and whatnot. You know, big up yourself. Big up Deluded. I don't want us to get caught in the romance of getting the next player to manage or direct us. I want someone competent who has improved players everywhere he's been. I just want someone at this moment who's got clarity in what they want to do. Whether they're unknown or whatnot is another thing. But I don't think Arteta has clarity in what he's trying to do. I don't get the vibe that I can't really, you try to do everything and do none. I don't think you stick to your guns and do things. You stick to the wrong guns, to be fair. Why are you trapping a man at the club, then excluding him from first team training? Something is wrong internally and they're trying to cover it up, but players' reactions, attitude, and comments is painting the picture on the canvas. How can you say he don't respect young players? I never once said he don't respect young players. I said I don't think he's developing young players to the standard, and I said I don't believe in his ability currently to develop them because I've seen reactiveness where in concerns to what we're doing with Saliba. Even the fact that concluding he's not ready, loaning them out, there was a mess in that regards. What's going on with Maitland? I don't know because of what I'm seeing with a lot of people. I don't know if you're going to take Saka and Smith Rowe to the next level. The defense is a shambles. So how are Gabriel and Ben White ever going to develop? So again, this is an issue. Yeah, our starting 11 is about at 22 to 25 years of age on average. But I do think when you go beneath the surface, the manager isn't going to the mandate. A lot of the lineup statistics are probably swayed by the fact of Saka and Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe, who only got his chance off the back of Willian and Lacazette. So I never said he didn't respect young players. I said he has concerns. Connor, please, one pet peeve of mine: criticize everything I say, but listen to exactly what I've said, then take it from there. Don't do the rose tints. Clean out the ears. Criticize or agree with what I have said and not what you think I've said, brother. DG on point. Which young players improved under Arteta? Funny enough, I do think there's been little bits and pieces with the young players, but I don't see evident improvement. And I'm not talking about a man has to become world class and whatnot, but I don't see people looking evidently better. Like even Saka in the final third, that's the maddest one. He's got to improve the most. Bro, stop spamming. Moderators, please clean up when people are spamming. DG, is our team actually stronger than Emre's first team? I'd have to see, but I don't think so off the top of my head. Unless he's tweeted something new. I don't know what he's tweeted, but it's just nonsense then. If there's nothing to back up the claims, it's nonsense then, isn't it? Where AFC Bell's concerned. Do you agree with the opinion that Basuma isn't coming due to the deal for Partey last year? Same sort of player saw it on one report. Yeah, logically, because they brought in Lokonga and Partey. So I don't think they're bringing in any midfielder, but I think if anything, you need to go for someone that strengths are a bit more further forward fundamentally, even though I would love Basuma. And you see with the injury, things can happen. Xhaka has the most errors leading to goals and most red cards since he began playing for Arsenal. And I don't think he's the worst player in the world, but boy, that's one for the Xhaka sexuals. Them same man who said, oh, he's going to have, how many offers he's going to have when they decide to sell him? He's underrated. Allow it, man. Just allow it. Thank you. If Arsenal can get Ainsley, Maitland-Niles and El Nene out, there's no doubt in my mind we won't bring in another midfielder. I hope so, man. I hope we bring a midfielder, but boy, I don't know. When are we going to recall Saliba? He probably returns at the end of the season. I don't think we're going to recall him in Jan. How can we, social media, normal people, know what's wrong with Arsenal, but the people with paid jobs have no clue? No, stop spamming, bro. I answered your question, bro. Like, calm down. Why are you shouting so early in the morning? Relax, man. Why aren't we hijacking the Renato deal? I don't know. Probably not a target of ours, even though, again, I wanted a midfield. I don't think the midfield has been addressed, man. It's looking like a bit of a myth, man. It's absolutely appalling, man. Let's try and see if there's any hope, man. Apparently Renato Sanchez and Al are available on loan, people. So again, it's a broke boys market. We might be able to do a thing. I don't know if this is. Nah, I'm not giving people. Who the hell is this? I don't know who this is, but apparently AFC board are not willing to sign any more players for Mikel Arteta and Edu this summer. Awa will not join. Club have created a short list of managers to replace Arteta if results do not change in the next month. Ralph Hasenhuttl and Brendan Rodgers are on that list now. Again, I don't know how true that is, but yeah. Apparently, Callum Hudson-Odoi is not being allowed to join Dortmund. So you've got him, potentially Maitland-Niles, and then Ndombele and Harry Kane as people being kept against their will. Pardon me. So it seems like, the most exciting thing is we're bringing a right back in. The Bellerin might be, looks closer to going Betis and is all but a Betis player. I don't know. I don't know, man. There's nothing else, man, really. I mean, when you look at the profile of the players we've signed or signing, yeah, they're all young. They fit in for tomorrow. But it goes back to what I said. The level of coaching has to be levels to make to develop something. You need to be good at development. And is Arteta good at that? Because we heard a whole lot of hot nonsense about, Sterling this and Man and Sane that. What you give out of 10 for the transfer window up to now? A 3, 4. I'll give a 4. You have got some people off. You have brought some good players that I feel will tie in long term. But in terms of immediately improving the squad now, you're only looking at Odegaard and Ben White. And I don't know if you're making immediate impacts or you're making impacts that we see evidently past for this season and beyond. So we're going to have to see. Boy. Bologna conceded 65 goals last season. Not sure Tomiyasu will be that helpful. To be fair to you, everyone was making a big song and dance about Brighton's defensive record, and he comes here, he's not gonna play. I mean, we're not gonna play like that and actually be sensible in terms of defending. Need to get rid of Arteta. In all honesty, what part of Arsenal has Arteta improved? Comments on Arsenal's training centre rumours. I don't know. What rumours are there? You're going to have to enlighten me on that. I don't know anything about that. I read an article saying the hierarchy are willing to give Arteta until the next international break. The article also said that they are willing to sack someone mid-season if need be. I hope so. I hope they pull the trigger, man. It's a feeble attempt at trying to rectify the situation, DG. Fact. I don't mind buying unknown players. Just make sure they're good players. I don't care if a player plays for Barcelona or some team in Enfield. As long as they're good enough, do your thing. Getting a good transfer today is like getting blood from a stone. We can all pray. Edu needs to go as well. The guy's just vibing. We need to act where we are. I'd take Potter at Arsenal because let's be honest, we ain't gonna get Conte, says TM. Renison on the move, apparently going to Belgium. So is that permanent or on loan? Big up to if anyone's buying him permanent, they're smoking the finest of stuff. But big up yourself, E. You said Arsenal are in talks over a deal that sees Renison move to Belgium club. I can't even really say them. So hopefully he does move. Are you live all day? No, we're going to take a little gap. I'm going to be live until whenever this finishes. Then I'm back again at 8. I'm 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. to the end of the window. Unfortunately, I have to deal with stuff in my personal life. Well, I would be here all day. We need to get our next Ozil. We need to get our next Arsene Wenger as the gaffer. Jose was toxic and it affected the performance of the players, and so is Arteta. To be fair, I agree. But at the same time, Jose's earned the right to be toxic, man. Sometimes I just wonder why people sign these players at Arsenal. I think Arsenal will sack him if he doesn't win the next 6 to 7 games. Big up Derek. Ainsley Maitland-Niles is now 24 years of age and needs to really be playing regular football. I hope Everton improve their bid. And this is the reactive thing, man. Like, again, it's happened now, innit? But if you deal with this, when it does first leave the horse's mouth, we could probably get our one, maybe even attempt for Basuma and do half of these things. But we left it. We're very reactive, and Hey, tomorrow again, make sure you're all here tomorrow at 11:30 because we'll be reacting and offering my real opinions on the transfer window. Because remember, they did say judge us at the end. So let's see what's going on at the end. Wait, we'll have to see. One love to the 700 odd of you that are locked in. We should at least be at 500 likes. You lot doing me dirty. We're only at 430. So if you haven't hit that like button, come on. All I need now is our or anyone. Would you take Edouard? I like him, but probably not at this moment in time. No matter how much we score, our defense always makes mistakes, and we don't even score. So where that plays us? Kilo is saying check Tomiyasu, forgive me for mispronunciation, stats for the last 3 seasons. They're proper poo. It's unfortunate, man. What do you think about the midfield, bro? Christos, what do I think? What do you lot think? Because you lot, at this point, I think we're all of the same thought. It's shit. Like, I love Partey. I like what Lokonga brings to the table. I'm happy that Odegaard's here as well as Smith Rowe, but I think we're 2 midfielders short. Someone needs to be able to do what Arteta tells Xhaka to do, whatever that is, and do it to an actual good level. And then you need someone else who can actually do that as well. For me, 2 of them, sorry, Lokonga, Partey, you've got Smith Rowe, you've got Odegaard, you can bring other people in, but until we've got that, I can't believe in our midfield. The midfield hasn't been sorted, defense hasn't been addressed, attack is underperforming due to the manager. It's a myth. And I hope this all turns around, but boy, it's looking a myth, a major, 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 major myth. Myth of the myth. Really. Hope you're doing well, ML. Now, I wanted Wenger to go. I think I wanted to go step down at 2014. He needed to, man. He was like a madman that needed saving, but still. You know what? Guendouzi's the only one I understand. When you add Guendouzi into the Salibas, to the Maitlands, to all the others, I don't understand. But on the basis of he seemed like, pardon my language, a little shit. It is what it is. It seemed like someone needed to pull his ear and say, calm yourself down. I understand if he's stressing you out so much. I can't be dealing with, Arsenal's a big enough mess and Guendouzi's nonsense. So on that angle, I get it. But for me, it seems like discipline and all these things is only reserved for certain individuals, because for what Guendouzi's doing, it's no worse from from what certain people are doing to fans. It really doesn't make sense. And it further goes back to what a lot of us feel. These non-negotiables, these sort of things, they kind of, they're subjective. They're subjective. It's all according to the player, really. I think our captaincy is cool with Aubameyang. If I can pick, I'm giving it to you. We will get another midfielder by the end of the window, by God's grace, bro. I hope so. Exactly. Palace clearly woke up and said, "What? We can get Edouard for 14. Why are we paying 12 for Eddie? Who's got more of a CV?" We should have got Dunk instead of White. Even if we got Dunk, he still probably wouldn't thrive in this defense, because there's no respect for defending at this club. I don't think Arteta will turn it around, even if he has an unlimited budget to sign players. It's the same case with Chelsea's Lampard, but on a worse level. Arteta is not good enough for Arsenal. He should step down. Harsh. Deal is done for Bologna. Xhaka should have been thrown out the club when he saw at the fans and threw the armband. Yeah, he should have. I don't think the fans covered themselves with glory, but just for that, yeah. No Premier League club at the moment can take up Xhaka. What's Arteta's fetish with players being able to play 15 positions and not one definitive position where they are quality at? Buying centre-backs to play right-back, I'm stressed, man. Help me, DJ. I can't help us because we're not trying to help ourselves. At the beginning, I could see Arteta's pragmatic style while the 5 at the back was doing okay/average. Now he's lost the players' trust and confidence. Same, bro. I do think the club betted on Arteta too much. I do think Arteta and the players and the club thought with that FA Cup win and the turnaround, at the time that we've kind of certain things that were problems. We've got past that now. We're further ahead in the rebuild than we thought, sort of thing. But I hear it. Maybe it was Arteta's tactics. Maybe it was new managerial bounce. Maybe it was the propaganda, but something's changed. Again, I don't know this for true, but I'm sure when Arteta, and I could be wrong, people, let me know if you're feeling the same way. When Arteta first came, the football weren't this dead. Like it weren't amazing, but it weren't this dead. We was trying to play. We was trying to play ball. Like I remember us against Chelsea at the Emirates. We fucked it up in the last 15. I think maybe Mount and Tammy definitely scored, but we was on the offensive. We did that against United. I was seeing high quality and coordinated pressing. Pressing's no good if it's the Gabriel/Alexis thing where fans might admire it, where it's just one man. It's dead. Because when they get past that first press, and when you're playing the bigger teams where they should be able to pass under pressure, it's dead. You're running around for no reason. So the pressing's gone. The defense, the sort of still, I thought they had the confidence. A lot of it's gone. A lot of it went from winning that FA Cup and that summer. I don't know what's happened. I do think there's been something with Aubameyang. There's been something with Pepe. Clearly, there's something with Maitland-Niles. There's been other rumblings, and again, give it time. The other players are going to turn on you. And maybe Arteta's always known this. Maybe that's why he's leaned on the Lenos, on the Bellerins, on the Xhakas, because we hear at least two of them are big characters around the squad. So maybe he's kind of kept them on side. So just when the other them are acting, they can say things like, allow it, man. He's trying and stuff. I don't know. Maybe he's tried to do too much and done too little. Personally, I think he's got scared of the size of the task and, just got overwhelmed. And now he's just doing absolutely nothing, really. But yeah, I think Arteta is overwhelmed and out of his depth. But like I said, I would love for him to turn it around. Who wouldn't? I want the guy to be gone. I really want him to. He should have been sacked for. People have been sacked for less. Should have won in November. But if he stays, I want to win games. I want to turn it around. I want it for Arsenal fans. I want to look back and say, yo, we was moving mad at this period. But now we're going off and doing things. I can't see it though. So the man needs to go. If he doesn't go and he turns it around, fair play, I'll hold my hands up. But right now, on the 31st of August, 2021, I can't look at Arteta as Arsenal manager and think he can do a job and think he believes he can do a job. He's deluded. He don't look the part. He don't behave the part. There's not enough clarity. There's not enough bravery. It's too reactive. Everything I look for in an Arsenal manager that he might have shown or didn't show initially, it's gone now. And all the excuses of pre-season, of it's not his squad, of time, it's all gone. Time is a social construct. You make time. You make time by planning. You make time by being more effective and having a schedule. You haven't used your time effectively in pre-season. You can't sit here and cry about COVID and injuries and things. Everyone's dealing with it. I have sympathy, but everyone's dealing with it. Stop the woe is me thing, because when you win, you're not saying these things. You're not using them facts. If you can't deal with it, go and be a coach at this football club. Don't be the manager. Go and become part of someone's coaching staff. Ryan Gary's left. Ryan Gary's left and going to England. He was the assistant at 18s. Forgive me if I'm wrong. You can go do that because you ain't even worked with 18s and that. Ridiculous, man. And I can't see it changing because the club don't want to change. 950 of you locked in. Massive respect for that. Keep hitting the like button and them things there. We're at 491. We're flirting. Guendouzi is temperamental, but at the same time, he's one of the few with fight. He's definitely backing the man if it goes down. Trust me, that's why he stays for me. He's one of the only guys backing it. We're saying sorry to opponents now. Sadly, it does look like our is staying, unfortunately. So it's gone, man. I don't know if I'm preaching, but one love, my guy. AFC failed to deliver my birthday present November last year, maybe this year. Turn around, nothing, Arsenal under Arteta, spiral. Boy. I don't want to win and draw with Norwich and Burnley and then start losing again. Please, Arteta should go. I kind of feel AFC is losing their money buying players for this manager. He can't coach. Boy. Hey, DG, Edouard has been awful in every game he's played versus good teams. Be happy you haven't bought him because Celtic fans are happy he's gone. He's an all right player, but I feel there's just too much hype. Like, he's got good tech. When I was doing my research, he didn't necessarily, I wouldn't say I had him down as prolific, even though his statistics might say otherwise, but he's got good tech and he did score decisive goals, but I didn't really feel it. Arteta needed a pre-season. Bro, he should have been doing that. Arguably, your pre-season should have started, the run to the end of the season. That should have been your pre-season. When it became abundantly clear, top four, all of that's a myth. That was your pre-season. You should have been patterning then, giving Balogun his chances, giving players that you feel next season can be part of this team, young or old, freezing out, man, seeing what it's like, moving away from your over-reliance on Granit Xhaka. Then you've got your pre-season. Then then obviously you see what's happened, but I don't know what we've been doing, This doesn't, we heard we're planning, we know what we want to do in the market, we're ready to do this and that. They were very bullish about what we're doing in the market and how we're doing it. So I ain't saying nothing. To be fair, they were kind of doing things early. Ultimately, We're now here at the end of the transfer window in a season where out of all the quote unquote top teams, Arsenal needs to have it spot on the most. You've got a Haaland boy, whether he's playing or not. You got the drama of that. You've still, Bellerin, Kolasinac, Willian. It seems like futures are being resolved, but you've still got them here. And again, we're not asking for everyone to go, everyone to be brought in. It's just when the window ends, can I look back and say, yo, cool, this was the Edu window. All right, technical front. Edu's giving him the players now. There's no excuse. Arteta's had the preseason. There's no excuse. There's still no excuses regardless. I'm just saying it's not matching up what they're saying to what's happening, sort of thing. So it's an absolute myth, man, unfortunately. I wouldn't say I'm excited, but it is what it is, man. You know, better to have a player who can do a role than someone not. You know, I'm keen to see what happens because it's like you're going to get rid of Chambers, Cedric, and Bellerin, and then you're going to have, you know, my man, Ben White, and probably Tavares. Every bear man can fill in that right back, and maybe no one's going to lock it down then. So we'll see, man. But it's exciting being a Gooner fan. Big up yourself, McCoy. Appreciate you. I reckon Arteta needs 10 points from the next 5 games to keep his job, bro. All he needs to focus on his next game. I need to win against Norwich. Because right now, that should be it. You know, his future should be on a knife edge. Arsenal have no imagination, no plan. They try to copy other clubs, I think you're saying. I don't know for that, but I agree with the planting. Or whatever the plan is, they're not able to implement it effectively or react to when things don't go right in the market. It's not protect youth. It's I've got my favourites, protect. Do you think this will be the only transfer we make today? If it is, I don't feel excited. I've got small hope a midfielder arrives in it. And until 11 p.m., anything can happen. But I don't know enough or know anybody that can give me any conviction. Like I said, people, I'll be back again later. I'm still here, but I'll be back again later. Make sure you're here later as well. 8 p.m., you know, we'll close up and hopefully there's a bag of things done by then. You don't sign a centre mid, Arteta is clueless. Would you play a 3 or 4 at the back if you're a manager? I think we've got to be able to do both, bro. I think the team should be able to do both. I think every day of the week, I want to see 4-3-2-1 or 4-3-3, but we should effectively be able to play 3 at the back and still be able to offer something going forward, but be able to do something. Obviously, if you're bucking Liverpool and City or whatever, I want the luxury of being able to know these lot can play a back 3 because it makes us a tiny bit less predictable. Arteta's management and setup is lacking confidence, DG. He's scared to lose, and that's channeled into the players' performances. Exactly. Scared to lose, but they're also scared to win, bro. Absolutely agree with you, DG. We all thought we was ahead of the rebuild. However, I think he's definitely lost the players' trust. I think he overthinks the overthinking of tactics. I see where you're coming from. I don't think he's lost the players yet, if I'm honest with you. I think he's begun to lose them. I don't think it's a... let me make that in a timestamp. Has Arteta lost the dressing room? I don't think he's lost them yet. I do think there's retaining him, but I think it's one where you're running around as a striker and wondering what's going on. As a defender, it's a shambles. What's going on? As a midfielder, what's going on? So it looks like the beginning of the end, obviously, and it should be. When they're winning, like when we was doing our thing during the FA Cup and the FA Cup win, and it was a bit more positive, they should believe in their gaffer because he's showing something to believe in. It wouldn't surprise me if, you know, you imagine you're at work and your manager's showing you one thing, you're getting results, and then he's changed it up and you're still working and you're doing whatever on the computer, but you don't believe in what he's doing. So it wouldn't surprise me if they don't. I just think the players, you know, the positions that he needs to give minimal information, he gives too much. The positions or the individuals he needs to give maximum information to, I think he gives too little. And then on top of that, I sometimes think he tells them the right thing and the players just shank it up. And that's why we've got this negative cocktail of players that are just badly coached, bad players, but fundamentally bad habits that Arteta's installed, that Emre's installed, and some that's been there with Wenger. And then obviously, you know, you already know the owner of the club, the people that are above Arteta and Arteta himself. So it don't look good. It don't look good. We never got here overnight as a football club. We're not going to get out of it overnight as a football club. And that's what scares me. I don't look around and think anybody actively has a sense of, I don't know, what's the word, man? Like, you know, when you're motivated, like you've got a sense of urgency, I think, like to change things up. Can tell the vibes at the club are off. We've been needing a right back all window. We still sign one. We signed one. People still vexed. To be fair, is he a right back though? He doesn't even trust his own tactics. Nah, DG Arteta boy has always been dead. Fair enough, Anthony. You must have seen something I couldn't see, man. I think that was the new managerial bounce. Same thing with Emre. It was manager bounce settings. We'll never truly know. I don't know at this point. I don't know. The propaganda had us all. But you can fool some of the people some of the time. You can't fool them all the time. And, you know, you can wear the MA, you can have the tight sock, you know, the tight tracksuits and the white football socks over them and the Copa Mundials. You know, you can talk the talk. You've got to be able to walk the walk, you know. Bring Sarri, man. Bring Sarri to this club. I just want to see ridiculous football. I remember Arsenal fans. Remember, we used to cry about top four. We used to cry that we're being passed to death. We're trying to walk it in, and all of these things at the time were legit. But it's like, what was it in comparison to this? It weren't so bad. It weren't so bad. Surely, at this point, I think Lombard could have done better. Maybe Arteta's a problem, bro. Swear down. David Ornstein announced that there will be no more incoming signings after Bellerin and Nelson go out on loan. So this window looks done and dusted. Please don't break my heart. You know the ones there, I believe you. But I need to see it with my own eyes, man. Please, man. You can't do that. Have Arsenal even announced mine, man? There's no way we can let man. There's no way you can let El Nene, Torreira, Willock, Guendouzi, and potentially Maitland, who went out on loan to West Brom last season. There's no way you can't sign a centre mid. There's no way, no way, man. I need to make that timestamp. No way we don't sign a centre mid today. No way. No. Do you know what? It would be the illogical thing to do, and that would be Arsenal. But surely, nah, man. You can't. Nah. Seriously. You already see we're down to our bare bones already in midfield. You know, fuck El Nene, pardon my language. El Nene should leave anyways. But just off the basis of if you was going to, at this point, you're better off probably keeping him. I know money's money, but you're better off keeping him now because you're down to your bare bones. Surely a midfielder's arriving. Miguel Aziz is nowhere near the first team in terms of immediately being an option, but you've let that young man go who we heard is going to get opportunities. Shout Charlie Patton, hopefully he does, but you've let Miguel go. Guendouzi, for whatever reason, has been allowed to go. Maitland, right back, centre mid, either way, he's been allowed to go. Jacques has been allowed to stay. You know, hella midfielders are Willock's gone. Hella midfielders are gone. And we're down to our bare bones already. You know, Partey's a flight risk. We don't know if he's fit all the time. You know, God forgive me if anything happens to Lokonga. You know, again, Jacques is there. He is quite durable, but he needs a rest at times. So, you know, unless you're going to play Smith Rowe and Odegaard and you're really trying to develop them as eights and you see, all right, cool, Odegaard's another body in that regards, boy, it's not looking good. Surely a midfielder comes in. I don't want to hear we plan to sign centre mids. I don't want to hear what you normally see in the Athletic or these mouthpieces Arsenal filter to is that we might not sign a man, but there'll be some article come out how, yeah, Arsenal tried to get our, we met him in France. You know, this happened, that happened. They said no, they did a U-turn. You know what's going to happen. Then you're going to probably find out Arsenal tried to get Pjanic on loan or something like that. It's incompetence. And once again, Arteta and Edu were midfielders. It's at the point... Just have to hope for the best. Let's hope it works, innit? And then, you know, fair enough, you wanted the money, but if you're not going to sign a midfielder, why'd you sell Joe then? Like, surely this was a better chance to give someone a chance who you believe in, unless he wanted to force it. And if he wanted to force a move, why not? You know, you have to ask yourself a question because indirectly, I'm not saying they told Joe what you're doing, but they must have told him midfield plans because he's a midfielder. Just like if you have a right back who's on loan or whatever, you know, the club should be telling him the plans. Like, you're going to be my right back or you're going to be moved on. Then everybody knows where they stand and they can react as such. But no way we don't sign a centre mid today, man. That's bugging out, man, of the highest proportion. Surely, man. I just have to hope Ornstein's got this one wrong. Surely, man. That there has spoilt my day now. I can't see it, though. I can't see anything Ornstein has said, though. To my knowledge, he ain't tweeted nothing. He ain't tweeted no update. Nah, no. Oh. No, that's nothing to do with him. No, I can't see nothing, people. So again, we might be alive. We might be alive. No way you can't. I mean, Arteta, hand your P45 in tonight if you don't get a midfielder in. Edu, hand your P45 in tonight because forget Arteta. Arteta might be a madman, But you can look at that squad as a technical director and say, listen, I need to update. I need to do better. This isn't good enough. This is a madman thing, man. This is a madness. If I can't, I'm not even gonna, if it happens, we'll talk about it. But I'm just gonna put myself in a clear headspace. I can't believe that. There's no way in God's green earth, man. I can't. That would really, really mess up my day, man. Because again, that just stinks of incompetence. In fact, no, incompetence. You are deluded if you think these midfield options are good enough. If a next body drops at Arsenal, what happens then? Fab new tweet. Cap has not said that. Fair play. All right, cool. So, certain people are being accused of capping here. I'll let the people them chat. But let's see. You lot are saying Fabrizio Romano's tweet. I mean, unless he's saying the same thing about the right back is signing for our club, we've covered that. Yeah, paperwork. Look at that. Look at him. Eddie, look. So now they've probably even got Fabrizio on the payroll. Arsenal and Bologna, paperwork's been completed for the individual, for TT. Edu Gaspar so fast to jump in the deal and close the agreement with the player and the club. Here we go. Medical during the afternoon and then official. First reported by David Ornstein. Let's see what happens then. Let's see what happens. But surely, man, until 11 p.m., it's almost my brain can't comprehend that a midfielder isn't signing for this club because that's too incompetent for me. That's, pardon me, too much incompetence. What happened to Guimaraes, bro? Probably in the same place where Camavinga, Neves, Szoboszlai, all of these guys that were linked with the club. They might as well for Bants link us with Paul Pogba because they've just linked us with Bearman. Hella Edu PR. Good signing. I'm watching Fabrizio's live stream. So why are you watching mine, my guy? Forget them guys, man. Arsenal's going to win the Champions League this season. I can't believe we are backing Arteta more than we did with Emre. Madness. Poor scouting players. We don't fill the holes. White replaces Luiz as our best defensive centre-back. We need someone to sit and defend. We get Lokonga. I don't think are bad players, but not what we need. I disagree. I agree, but disagree. I think they're good. They're good players, but I don't see anyone who can take it up a level now. And we finished 8th. At this moment, 8th signing someone could be the difference between 8th and 6th. Or staying 8th and getting relegated. And what I don't understand is at this club, they don't have a healthy degree of pessimism. We drop like flies. So make sure you have a squad that's able to be equipped with such. As I said, fine line between depth and imbalance and things, but you get the point. Hella Edu propaganda. Now, I'm not really feeling the Isco thing. We are not signing anyone, bro. This right back is the last, and Arteta will tell us he needs to work with what he has and to trust the process. Arsenal ain't ending up top 6 peak. How long before Partey is back? Does anyone know? Allegedly after the international break, but this is assuming he doesn't hurt himself again during the season. Wow, 900 people and we're not even at 600 likes. You lot are doing me dirty, man. This is the thanks I get for the commitment I show to you lot time and time again. You lot don't respect the guy. You lot upset me, man. You lot upset me. Over 900 people have you locked in and there's only 570. Bro, West Ham have had a better transfer window than us. Zuma, Vlasic, Areola, Tagliafico, all excellent signings. I don't want to hear the 2 words project and process again. We are hearing this from I forgot how many years. We now want the results, man. Lastly, you're doing a great job, DG. I appreciate that. It's better you prepare yourself for no more signings. Better than letting the news disappoint you at the end. Appreciate that. Hit the likes, guys, like he said. Arteta's too arrogant with his coaching with Man City. Let's be careful of using words like depression. And I think that's one thing football fans need to understand that they need to improve. I think we need to be wary of using the words depressed and stuff like that, even myself, because people go through it. And I do think in football, especially on social media, when you hear things like Arteta's a terrorist, Arteta the Taliban and things like that, I think it's just not like, I think there's a way of saying things, man, that it just, there's a line. And I think I know many people are not in tune with what's going on in the world, but I think there's many things people need to calm down with saying. Like, you can get your point across without comparing people to of that nature. DG, for you, what would it take for you to stop supporting Arsenal? Do you have a tipping point? No. At best, I'll just stop speaking about Arsenal on YouTube. Maybe even stop watching Arsenal. Stop and that. But I'll never stop supporting it. Oh, it's blood in, blood out, man. There's no snaking thing. I'm Korean and a fan of Son, but I think Tomiyasu, I can't say his name, is very good. He's a very good player and also a good personality. I hope so. But the personality is subjective because you're always going to revert to type when you're around some clowns, like you can see at Arsenal Football Club. 641 likes. That's amazing. Can we begin our assault to 700, folks? Aaron has said, DG, I love your channel. I don't think we'll finish outside the top 10, but mate, I'm 39 next week. I've been waiting over 15 years now, bro. It's peak, man. You're so dedicated, bro. Keep up the hard work. I appreciate that. 14 Shamil. I hear that. I'm at the point of not watching matches. I'll always support, but health is wealth. I'm a big Juventus fan, and I just wanted to let you know that T is a great player. He's rapid, quick, and has great attacking and defensive awareness. He's got great potential. Packed us in a few times. But again, the Arsenal juice is going to run out. It will come, have a couple good games, and then the juice is going to run out. Like you're seeing with Tierney and Aubameyang and even Leno, the juice runs out. Leno was never my first choice as a keeper. I've always had question marks, but there was a certain level. The juice runs out, man. You revert to type. Trust me. We need to bring back our star player, Gunnosaurus. Why not, man? 4, man. Default settings. Tierney, Gabriel, White, T as a backline. Let's give it a go. Why not, man? 170 million for 6 under 23 players. This could go either way. Yeah. And that's what I said at the start. It's down to Mikel Arteta. It's down to the boys. But it's down to Arteta. You know, you can make Ramsdale's fee look cheap. Or, you know, at the time, 30 million was expensive. Now it's pennies. Or exactly what people are saying. The same trailer thought for the 50 million for Ben White, the same for the 30 odd for Odegaard, etc., etc. Like you said, it goes either way. This is where I need to have confidence in Mikel Arteta's ability to coach young players in the same way I kind of did with Wenger, but I don't know. Just tuned into the channel from Australia. What are your thoughts on Arsenal not playing Ainsley Maitland-Niles? I'm gonna have to implore you to scroll back. I'll just because I've offered my opinion in the last 3 live streams I've done. Check out the timestamps of such, but I'll just say sad, fundamentally sad. You know, sad that it's got to that point. DGT has been cabbed as a future decade-long captain for Japan. He and Kubo are their star boys. He's lauded for his professionalism and work ethic. I like this signing. So do I, but the juice, man. We should be grateful if Arsenal is the biggest stress in our lives. Facts. I've been listening to Kevin Campbell. This is the thing, man. Waffles crap. The players will get the manager the sack, but the manager's picking the players. Deluded, marching on. Peter, one love to Kevin, but what I would say with Kevin, there's everyone's free to their opinion, but them man are connected to the club indirectly, so they're always going to draw out the club, but not draw out the club because they want to make sure they still get their involvement with things as well. The only one that's an exception is Ian Wright. The rest, there's YouTubers, ex-players, all of them. They're not going to say Arsenal have been shit, Arsenal are shit. They will say it in little ways because they still want to get their season. They still want to get their free tickets like little whores. They still want to get their free T-shirts and the rest of it. Still get their little videos. So they say things where it comes across as cap. I guarantee you, because I've been in rooms with, not him, I'm not talking about Kevin anymore at this moment, but they will say one thing. I've seen it. Man will say one man will have a legit opinion, but once that camera turns on, they're doing devil's advocate or they're having another opinion for whatever reason. You know, man, I'm moving like WWE characters, just turning things off and on, and that's the game, man. I think it's real lack of integrity, but fair play. If that's what helps people do what they need to do to feed their family, what can I say? Stop spamming, broski. It's not gonna get things read. Aziz has gone Portsmouth on loan. Get someone who can pressure the owner and the players. I think we've gone past that point. I really hope Odegaard is not integrated as a number 8. I hope he is. To save our season, bro. Doesn't matter what happens now with Kroenke at our club. Nothing ain't changing. Fed up with this BS. I hear that, man. I hear that. It's upsetting, but I hear it, man. I really do hear it. Right, Jack Wilshere's been offered a 1-year deal with Birmingham. That could be good for him. Apparently, Wilshere's training in Italy. Where with who I don't know, but he's training in Italy. Might be trying to get a move there. Once in front of the camera, they remember which side of their bread is butter. The facts, and more facts. Yeah, man, it's a 4, bro. It's a 4. In terms of the recruitment, the young players, I'll give that a 6 because I think they'll all be good. But when I balance everything, not really done enough for me. It's a 4. Still a lot of the same questions that haven't been answered for a couple of years. Yeah, they did sign Troy Deeney. Oh, and then they could be off. But again, then who is going to, at this moment, Arteta's going to have to lace off his boots and play in midfield. Really? Or you're going to have to ask Vieira to get sacked by Palace and play for us. That's the territory we're going into. The bodies are not there, man. Do you think there's been a situation where the players at any club deliberately tanked to get their manager sacked? Of course. People are sinister. Basuma or Aouar DG, I'd rather Aouar at this moment in time, but Basuma will probably make the bigger impact. Just because Aouar is different to what we already have. We, in theory, got Lokonga and Partey, so we should be going for someone a bit different, man. Ronaldo's 12.5 mil on FPL. Gonna have to make it work, man. Would you rate our academy moves out of 10? Bro, I think our academy is a 9 out of 10 for what we've done in terms of bringing in people and selling and letting people go on loan and them things there. I'll give it a 9, maybe even a 10 out of 10. Mertesacker, all them guys there with the youth, they've been doing their thing. I don't think Arteta's lost the dressing room yet, but I do think they're at that stage where he's beginning to lose them. They're beginning to question what's going on. They're beginning to have question marks, if that makes sense. Let's keep refreshing this Arsenal page and see what other Arsenal-related stuff there is. Hopefully there's some optimism. Nothing really. Nothing, people. Nothing of any credibility. We're almost at 700 likes. 692. Come on, people. Really frustrated on how players like Sabic that are extremely talented and will do wonders for us went out for the price they did. Apparently, he only had his eyes set on Bayern Munich, but I understand that. We criticize Arsenal management a lot, but to be fair, they've done a lot of work in January and now. Well, to be honest, January should have done it in the summer. And, I can't really praise you for handling business. Stop spamming, brother. Calm down. How would I set up our team? It's just try and pass the ball forward fundamentally. A bit more togetherness. I don't know if Kolasinac will stay. Anything can happen until 11 p.m. UK time. Do you think that the defending has gotten worse since Steve Bold was sacked? I mean, when was we statistically under Steve Bold of recent years when he was here? Yes, last season, even though I don't believe it, we were third for clean sheets. Now, I've been very anti on that stat, so I can't really say it's got worse. I just think it's steadily just been the same shitness and the same slacks attitude towards defending. I see Kolasinac staying and Arteta playing him more often, maybe at least until Jan. Brendan Rodgers brings out the best in Sterling, Sturridge, Tierney, etc. I mean, I don't think Sterling will have to positive things to say about that. Appreciate you, Joey, but fair enough. We need someone like Santi Cazorla, someone who presses from the back and is creative at the same time. Someone who's just able to get the ball in the middle of the park and play the players up that are more that are as technical as him, and the players that are more likely to score, getting the ball in areas they're more likely to do mazes. But any chance for our until the window's closed? Why not, man? Would you see us lose against Norwich just to see Arteta get sacked? No, because anytime you want Arsenal to lose just because a manager's getting sacked, you're putting yourself and your own ego and your own ideology above the club. As a real fan, you should never want this club to lose. Unless there's some immoral stuff going on or whatever, you should never want your club to lose. What would my front line be right now? Aubameyang, Pepe, Saka, really? What happened to the Ruben Neves links? They're clearly gone with Xhaka staying. Need a midfielder to make driving runs with the ball. You looking forward to after the international break, DG, with some key players coming back? Not necessarily. I'm of the same level. You know, I don't think there's any optimism because these lot come back. We're still going to have the same old bottling and things we was doing. So it's not making sense, if I'm completely honest with you. It's too late. You probably got to keep Laka now. Let him run down his deal. It's like Laka and El Nene. You probably got to keep them until the end of the season now if you're not going to do anything in January. Would you take Witsel? I think he'd be a really good partner for Partey. No, because there's no longevity there as good as Witsel is, personally. I don't know. El Nene is not a person that should be replaced. Like, I don't know who the bodies are in midfield now. It's an issue, man. It's an issue. It really is an issue. I don't know what it is. You know, again, I'm reserving judgment until the end of the window, but boy. In hindsight, probably sold Alexis at the best time. We can't pretend that he wasn't, you know, he got the luxuries of his downing tools and whatnot, but he was playing shit in the build-up to leaving. But boy, it is what it is. People, I'm going to be back again at 8 p.m. Like you can see, I've dropped the link in there. Please make sure you've set your reminders. You know, we've got a lot of content to get through today. So yeah, I'll be reacting to the transfer business. I'm going to go away for a couple of hours and then you'll see me again, folks. But on that note, make sure you're hitting the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, man, I'll be back again later today. One love to everyone that's hit the like button and whatnot. 700 likes. It's ridiculous. You ain't hit that like button, make sure you hit that. 712. So I appreciate that. Like I said, I'll be back again later. But on that note, DG.
There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like